What is up, friends? It is day 39. Big stuff. Every day at this point is a new personal record, which is really exciting. But also, I don't get caught up on this. I don't brag about it. I don't say, look at me, because the second you think you've arrived, you're toast. The second you think you can just coast it out, I was told by a mentor of mine that the only way you can coast is downhill. Let that sink in. So if you aren't constantly improving and constantly looking for ways to get better, not in just this, but actually then pursuing something great out of life, then you're gonna get caught right back into your same patterns, into your same habits. And something I wanted to talk about today is a little something called feeling versus thinking, thinking versus feeling. And the reason why is because, if you guys are familiar, there is something called 16 personalities. And it's not one of those palm reading things. It's not one of those take this 10-question test and this will determine your future. No, it's very pointed. It's got about 100 questions that are very, very specific and very straightforward in how people act, whether that's extroverted, introverted, thinking or feeling, judging or perceiving, and then there is one other that I cannot quite think about right now. And then finally it labels your confidence in your abilities, so how sure you are of your personality, and like actually utilizing those skills. So I took it first probably 3 years ago, and my thinking versus feeling, which is logic versus emotions, was crazy off balance, which isn't a bad thing, but it is, because I was leaning 90%, almost 90% towards the feeling side. I was Mr. Emotions, I was Mr. Wear my heart on my sleeve, and if I felt like it, it was happening. And sometimes that was great, but most times that was not good, because I was very impulsive. I did not have a lot of control over my emotions. I was not great in relationships. I'm just going to be honest, just throwing that out there. So that's where we were at. And what happened once I tried to start fighting this addiction of mine and start trying to turn my life around is I cranked it way hard to the other side. So then I was trying to be super logic based, just cut my emotions out of the equation, just don't even mess with that, just put them under the rug, and yeah, that'll go great, right? For sure. And so I had taken it again maybe almost a year and a half ago, and it had shifted. It had gone like 70-30, except now I was way on the thinking side versus feeling. And I was like, sweet. So I must like got these under control. But what I was doing, guys, is I was suppressing the person that I was. I was not really fixing the problem with the emotions, but rather I was putting on a mask and trying to lie to myself, essentially, that, okay, this is going to be the new me. And yes, there does have to be a new you, and there does have to be a change when you're dealing with things of this caliber, but it can't be changing the core of who you are, if that makes sense. And so the reason I tell you guys all this is because I just retook the test one final time last night, and the score for my thinking versus feeling is 51% feeling and 49% thinking. So technically I am on the feeling side, and I lean that way just a smidge, because that is, again, how I'm wired, who I am as a person. But what that shows is I have that under control. I'm not pushing things under the rug. I'm not acting based out of emotions, but if the emotions come up, I'm able to go, all right, Let's think about why I want to do this. Let's think about why I want to pull up Instagram on my phone right now. Is that a good decision? Do I really just want to check in with somebody? Or see that post somebody talked about? Or is this a lust-based decision where I'm not thinking with my brain? Because there's times where it is the latter, and identifying that and really determining the reason behind your motive has given me a ton of clarity. So every time that I'm about to do something that could potentially lead me down the wrong road, I'm able to stop, I'm able to pause, and I'm able to think, all right, so why am I doing this? Caleb, why do you want to do this? Why do you want to text this person? Why do you want to open this app? Why do you want to go to this party? Etc., etc. And if your motives are pure and you're not lying to yourself and you're actually doing these for good reasons, then great. By all means, go ahead. These are not bad things, guys. Instagram, not bad. Parties, not bad. But if you are going there for the wrong reasons, then it's bad. Then it's unhealthy. Make sense? Donuts are great. I love donuts. If you're eating them because you feel like it and you want it to make you feel better and you have 4 of them, probably not a good call. Probably not a good call at all. And so that's really what it boils down to. It's asking yourself, why? Why am I doing this? Why do I want to do this? Why am I thinking about doing this? Do I have control of my emotions right now? What am I feeling? Am I feeling alone? Am I feeling tired? Am I feeling worn out? All right, we got to get over. Cool. Because a lot of times when I had screwed up in the past, really the emotion was I was just feeling alone. I felt like I didn't have a whole lot of people on my side. I maybe didn't hang out with very many people that day. I wasn't very involved, or maybe I was just really tired and worn out from homework and just from the chaos of life. And since I had hardwired my brain to, okay, when I feel this way, the way I get happy is I pursue lust and I look at some crap and I feel better for that long, not even, and then all that comes back. The resentment, the guilt, the shame, the loneliness comes back at a times 10 factor because you realize you're holding a stinking phone or computer, and it's just a mess, and it just doesn't make sense. So if you're able to identify your emotions before acting upon them, holy smokes, guys, this will become so much easier regardless of the addiction. People are addicted to things because they're trying to fill a void. They're trying to compensate for that negative emotion that they're feeling, and since they had returned to that habit, to that addiction, to that vice so many times, your brain thinks, all right, when I feel this way, this is what I do. When I feel this way, this is what I do. So you reprogram it, and no, you can't flip a switch, that'd be sweet, guys, but you reprogram it into doing things that are healthy alternatives. All right, so I feel lonely, I'm gonna go to this event tonight with some of my friends. All right, so I feel tired, we're gonna grab a nap right now. Yep, I have homework that's due, but this nap and my mental clarity and me beating this addiction is more important than that homework. Won't you agree? Come on, guys, this is your entire future versus an assignment or versus one tiny little minuscule to-do list for your day. You got to think big picture. You got to think big picture. So the steps are identifying the emotion, identifying why you want to do this certain activity, and then really get into the heart of your motives, and then finally making a both emotional and logical decision. Because a lot of times it overlaps. It fits into both categories. It's a green light in both categories. And then you just got to watch out for those rare times when it is not a green light in both categories, and your emotions are trying to override your prefrontal cortex and your decision making up here. So with that, guys, life is good. Life is great. Day 39, like I said, tomorrow's 40. That's like my next small goal. I'm breaking it down into 10-day increments. 45 will be halfway to 90. Really exciting. That's like the benchmark if you're familiar with addiction, as far as really cleansing your brain and your dopamine addictive pathways. And then the ultimate goal is forever. Forever. Never, ever, ever going back, because my future is worth more than that. My future family is worth more than that. And my purpose for why I've been placed on this earth is worth a heck of a lot more than that. And I'm not going to represent it by tossing my whole life down the drain. Sorry if that's a bit strong, but that's how we're feeling. And I cannot wait to talk to you guys soon. I hope you guys are all crushing your own lives right now. And have a fantastic rest of your day. Stay strong out there. Peace.